Okay, so here's something genuinely embarrassing about me. For 3 years, I had three cars, three all at the same time. And in those 3 years, I could not buy that one car which I really wanted to buy. The one which had its own craze, its own following, its own aura. Think about that for a second. I had three cars, any of which I could have sold, taken a bank loan, and driven home a Thar. The math always worked. The option was always there. But somehow, I just could not pull the trigger. I took test drives twice. And both the times I came back home loving it even more. Like there was no question in my mind. This is the car. And then I would go home and nothing. Some excuse, some calculation, some let me just wait a little bit more. I could not understand what was stopping me. I genuinely could not. Then I got a proper opportunity. I sold one of my older cars of the three, freed up some money, and took a bank loan. This was it. I had the exact budget I needed. And then I bought the EV. Not a Thar, an EV, at almost the same price point. Even I don't know why. Maybe I convinced myself it was the smartest choice. Maybe some part of me just told me, Abhi nahi, just wait a little. But the Thar again did not happen. A year later, another window opened up, and this one felt real. My wife's office had a company lease option. I could get the Thar through that. And I would swap out another old car with a bank loan. So basically, this time replace two older cars, get two new ones, and keep the third one with me. Everything was figured out. I mean, properly figured out this time. Numbers, timelines, which cars would go, what would the EMIs look like, everything sorted. I remember thinking, okay, this is actually it. No more delays. This is the plan and it's happening. That same month, I lost my job and my wife lost hers. Same month, both of us. Just like that, everything shifted. The whole plan, the company lease, the loan, the two new cars just collapsed overnight for us. And honestly, at that point, Thar felt almost irrelevant. We had bigger things to figure out, existing EMIs, our incomes, household expenses, just getting back to being okay. And that's when something in me just let go. Not because I'm a spiritually evolved person who made a conscious decision. I was just beaten down. 3 years of planning, two test drives, multiple attempts, and every single time the result, the same. I didn't have the energy to chase it anymore, so I stopped. The want, however, did not go away. But the obsession about it, the continuous thinking about it all the time, that cooled down. Life got back on track eventually. And then the Thar Roxx launched. I saw it, honestly felt something shift in my chest. 5-seater, proper modern interiors, better tech, and I'm a tech person. This wasn't the Thar I had been chasing. It was even better. If I had forced it 2 years ago, I would have bought an older version. Probably, I would not even have known what I'm missing. But the money was still a question. While I went on with my regular practices of learnings of law of attraction, manifestation, which I thought gave me peace, out of nowhere, I just remembered something. A company I had left 4 years ago. I had my social security money sitting in their account, just sitting there untouched. And it had completely slipped my mind. I never remembered, never followed up. I checked and there was enough for a full down payment. 4 years, man. The money was already mine. At that time, I was just stressing about loans, timelines, which cars to sell. The answer was already there. I just wasn't looking in that direction. Getting it released was a whole different process. The company had changed names, paperwork to be done everywhere, and I was wondering how. But someone came along who knew exactly how to sort it, and it got done. I finally bought the Thar Roxx. When I drive it now, I sometimes just smile to myself because every plan I forced fell apart. And the one time I wasn't forcing anything, it actually came together better than I would have planned. And in a way, I hadn't planned. I don't know if that means something or if this is how life worked it out. But here's what I do know. Desperation has its own frequency. When you're holding something hard, you're not in a state of receiving. You're in a state of resistance. And that's something I talk a lot about in my work. When you are obsessed with controlling the how, you block the what. Letting go of the how, that's where things actually start to move. Maybe you are doing that with something right now. Just sit that for a second. If something like this has happened to you, genuinely drop it in the comments. I'd really like to know